And once again, guys, my Instagram, just wants to do what it wants to do. So if you give us a few seconds, I am closing and opening one more time so that we can go live on Instagram at the same time while y'all doing it. Okay. And we're good. What's up, guys, and welcome back to our weekly conversation. If you are joining us for the first time, Tay and I created this space to have candid conversations about our everyday experiences. If you would like to be the first to know about our lives and catch them when they start, you can find us in two places. You can find us on um, YouTube at Tay and Rena Live. I'm sorry, QTNA Live. And then you can find us also on Facebook at Tay and Rena Live. I am one of your hosts, Serina Renee. Tavia is going to be joining me shortly. And thank you guys again for coming back. I don't know what week this is, but it's definitely been over a year since we've been here.
No, not yet. Not yet. Almost.
No? Almost a year. Almost a year. What's up, sis?
Hey, boo. Hey.
Looking real cute, real cultured. I'm
You
liking
look
this.
cute, girl.
I need a girl with extensions in the hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. You looking real cute, even though they're bamboo earrings, but it's okay.
It's close. It's close. My grandma made me give hers back.
I need me some real bamboo. Remember when we was in high school that was in?
I was wearing my grandma's in high school. She made me give them back.
Oh, okay.
They were real gold bamboo earrings, and that's how I know my grandma was about it. Okay, because they was real gold. She said, "I'm sticking with this trend forever." Okay.
I don't think bamboo earrings are ever going out of style.
Hello. Elbow cough. You own them? You have a mom? My mom said elbow cough. All right.
Oh,
hey guys. Welcome to QTNA Live. I know Serina did our introduction, but she did not tell you guys the topic because she always waits for me, which is so kind. Yes. You want to tell them the topic, Serina?
We talk about these struggle ponytails, sis.
Yes, it is the beginning. It is the first Monday of May, and that means that it's hair talk. That means highly textured takes over, and we talk all about curly, coily, kinky hair and all the things in between. So this is going to be a fun one. But first, headlines.
Tay is going to lead us in our headline news. Over to you, Tay.
Thanks, Serina.
Yeah, we want to be news reporters so bad. Like
we will be though. There's a Black News Network that I watch all the time. I follow some of the ladies who are newscasters, and some of the girls follow me back, and I said, "Oh, hey, thank you." So I want to start off with Kanye.
Oh, what happened?
No, okay, I'm a Kanye fan. I know that he's crazy. But as a fellow Gemini, and the fact that we share the same birthday, I be understanding him. I understand Kanye. So, I'm a Kanye fan. I liked all the albums. I know that people didn't like them, but I'm with everyone else. Like, I'm still about that college dropout life. Those albums were definitely the best. The best in his career. But, if you want his old stuff, buy his old album. You heard Jay. You heard Jay when he told y'all that. So, you never catch that. That is a Jay-Z lyric. You know that? No, every time this is like I say that and you never catch it. It's cool. $1.8 million was spent for a pair of Yeezys that Kanye wore at the Grammys. Look, I'm a Kanye fan. I don't agree with everything he does. Like, I don't agree with everything anyone does that I ever met. Don't agree with everything. But I don't know, even if I had 1.8 million to spend on some sneakers that I would buy, that I would do it.
No, absolutely not. Like, I'm sorry. Once the money starts running in, there's certain things that you will never see me do still, period. And a $1.8 million shoe is something I'm not going to do. I'm going to take my $1.8 million and go get some land, get some stock, something. But shoes?
Look, I am curious though what the resale value is going to be, because Yeezys are already expensive. They're not $1.8 million expensive, but they are expensive. So, that was an investment for some big Kanye fan. So speaking, that took me out. Like, I was like, what? I couldn't believe when I seen that. Something else that took me out that I almost didn't believe, because I'm not the media has to be clickbaity sometimes.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I just knew this was some clickbait stuff. And you know what? I clicked it. Headline said, Black man enslaved by white restaurant manager should be awarded more than $500,000, court says. That was the headline. And I was like, enslaved. I said, they over here exaggerating. Oh, somebody, they want it because they know that there's racial tension, that there's unrest in general from people of color towards, if you could specifically say, like, I guess white people who don't choose to acknowledge their privilege and like the role that they play in like our society being kind of screwed up over here in America. So
Mhm.
there's like some tension there. So I thought that's what they were doing. Girl, apparently in 1990, this guy was 12 years old and he has a mild cognitive disability and he's in Conway, South Carolina. He worked at this restaurant as a dishwasher. Loved his job. It was a family-owned restaurant called J&J Cafeteria.
Mhm.
When the family, I guess, it's a family restaurant, so I guess it got passed down to the next guy. When it got passed down to the next guy, this dude, Bobby Paul Edwards, went berserk. And this is crazy because this happened in 2019 and then they're following up on the case. The justice system is not as fast as people always want it to be. So here we are
Right.
with this. Okay. Listen to this. Okay. Because I was like, this dude was not a slave. Get out of here. Okay. It says through physical violence, threats, and intimidation, Edwards, which was the guy's name, Bobby Paul Edwards, coerced Smith, that's the other guy, the Black man, who was 43, into working more than 100 hours per week without pay. And that's a quote from the Washington Post. And I said, he has a mild cognitive disability. So I was like, sound crazy to me, but that was not the end, okay? He also moved him into a roach-infested apartment that he owned. He isolated him from his family, and he also constantly called him racial slurs, whipped him with a belt, punched him, and he threatened to have him arrested. And I'm not surprised that he would threaten to have him arrested, knowing how the tension and like what you're seeing, what's going on between some of these, what they call them, rotten apples or bad apples, or police officers who not making the wisest decisions between people of color. And so this guy, I said, like, so they're charging Bobby Paul Edwards, who's 56. So he's probably known this kid. This guy is not that much older than him. He's like, 13 years older than him. So he was 26 when he was 12 when the kid started working. He's known this guy since he was 12 years old, working in his family shop. And he has made him work, like took advantage of him 100 hours.
Wow.
Serina, 100 hours a week. And so he's getting they paying, obviously, dude's getting his money back. Plus the overtime, plus some extra, plus some, because there's some like laws against like making people work without paying them. Right. And so there's some penalties there that he needs to be paid. So Bobby is going to jail for 10 years. He's in prison and he's been ordered by a court to pay back John Christopher Smith $273,000 in unpaid wages and overtime compensation. And then there's some other money laying on top of that. And girl, I was like, wow. What? And this is Conway, South Carolina, which I'm pretty sure my brother lives near there. I'm pretty sure that's near like Myrtle Beach.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
So,
how old was this guy? He's in his 40s?
43. I don't know how long I can't remember how long they said the guy had him working. And he said he was afraid for his life. He didn't know like how to get out of it. He's isolated from everyone he knows and loves. I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. So that took me out. But like, I'm super happy that I wish I had knew the story of how John was able to get out of this enslavement in freaking 2019. Like, but I'm really happy for him. And hopefully I'm hoping that some of the compensation involves some like mental health, paying for his therapist. Okay. Because
he's definitely going to need it. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm glad that he's free, but hopefully I agree that he's allowed to get some of that assistance, because
I just giggled. You just said you glad that he's free. Like, I should not have to hear that. Like,
it's crazy, but it's the truth. Like, that's crazy to me.
That is, girl. I was like, what? I thought it, like I said, I thought it was clickbait. So what else is going on? Vaccinations. 100 million Americans have been vaccinated, according to the White House, who said this like last week. And the U.S. population is 328 million. So that's about a little less than a third of Americans of the population have been vaccinated. So COVID restrictions have been dropped in Florida. I don't know if you heard about your governor. He said no.
We've been dropped. Our governor,
officially though.
Unofficial. We've been unofficially for a long time, but Florida been doing their thing.
We seen that on the news. That y'all out there partying the streets of Florida like it's 1999 over there. But apparently that there's in July 1st, they said, look, this is done. He said the supply and demand. He said there's more supply of vaccinations than the demand. So pretty much he said, if you want a vaccine, you can get one. It's your choice. So if you didn't get one, I'm not going to leave it closed, the state closed because you don't want to get a vaccine.
Listen, I said, I'm with it. I'm with it. Let people have their freedom. If they want to, let them do it. If not, leave them be. Because if something happens, it's only going to affect them. So, I mean...
Well, it's not only going to affect them.
I mean, you get what I mean.
It's one thing to close like everything because we can't figure out what the heck is going on and how to, you know, like we don't know. Everyone's getting sick. We can't figure it out. That's a different story. But now it's been figured out. Then the guys like open it up. And so people were saying, okay, well, Florida is like a Republican thing. People or whatever. Okay. New York City is also not a Republican. They're not Republican. And they said, we doing the same thing. Come July 1st, it's open, okay? It's open. We at 100% capacity. You ain't getting no special accommodations. They say you can get your vaccine, get it. If you don't want it, don't get it. But we opening up.
Right.
So that's good news to people who plan on living or vacationing in Florida or New York City coming July. Yay! But since you're like, oh, summer, it's about to be the best summer ever. Some of the plans, tell me something you do over the summer, Serina.
Something I do over the summer?
Mm-hmm. To stay cool. Something you might do to stay cool.
To stay cool?
Mm-hmm. In the summer.
It ain't much you can do here, but you can go swimming.
You might go swimming. Well, apparently.
Well, it's COVID in the water. What you about to say?
It could be because it's a chlorine shortage.
Well, I guess I'm gonna just go to the ocean and let the salt water do its business.
Right. It's always something.
Why is it a chlorine shortage? Why?
I'm gonna tell you. Last week I told you about the wood shortage and the plastic shortage because of what's happening in Texas and Canada. Apparently, there's a chlorine shortage because the BioLab, a leading chemical plant that manufactures pool and spa treatment products, including chlorine, caught on fire this August 27, 2020, and lost a ton. That's not an exact measurement, but a ton of their products. And so people, you know, the middleman, the person that you would actually buy your chlorine from, the chlorine tablets, they're saying they're freaking out. So Cody Salater, he's the owner of Texas Pool Professionals. He said the company has been experiencing the shortage firsthand, and they even started stockpiling chlorine tablets and looking for different chemicals to sanitize pools. They trying to, what can we sanitize it? They want to know chlorine going to figure out. And he, end quote, we're looking for anything that we can get that we don't have in North Texas. He said, we've been to about 6 states and 15 cities for supplies.
Wow.
Like these type of pool businesses, they make all their money during the summer.
Wow.
So I don't know if
I know I won't be in nobody pool like that until the shortage gets, you know, improved.
Right.
So
if you can hoard you some chlorine tablets, you get some, because you know what? This is supply and demand. We know when there's lower supply and a high demand, what do the prices do? Go up. Basic economics. So if you got some, hold on to them, use them sparingly, drop your tablet. Or maybe it's a good time to transition to a saltwater pool. People with pools in their backyards. I don't know what's about to go happen with you trying to go to Six Flags. I don't know what's going on with
Yeah.
the log ride. I don't know. Okay, so one thing that I picked out, especially for my sister here, my little star, nature loving. I don't know. I want to call you a being. She's just a being. A being. Apparently, there's. Hey, have you heard about Halley's Comet?
No.
Well, you're welcome, boo. Thank me later. Okay, it's debris from Halley's Comet's tail. Okay, and that's you're
Okay.
gonna be able to see that. Halley's Comet takes 76 years to go around the sun. And that's when we can see it when it comes back around. So the last time it was seen by casual observers like us people without giant telescopes, it was in 1986. And the next time we'll be able to see this comet is in 2061. There is going to be a meteor shower. There's going to be shooting stars with long tails. It's going to be beautiful.
Yay.
And ask me, boo, when?
When? Tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. The best time to view this, okay, listen in. The best time to view this meteor shower should be before dawn on Wednesday, May 5th.
Oh, that's in like 2 days.
However, the meteor shower should begin on May 4th and linger through May 6th. They said the southern hemisphere is going to have a better view than the northern hemisphere. But if you guys, May 5th, that's this Wednesday before dawn. So, right before the sun sets, y'all. Be out there looking up. And I feel really good about the news today because I was looking, I don't know, I was drawn, you know me, only to positive things. And so most of the stuff is really good. Even that whole slave thing was good because now he's free. So
definitely.
Yes. So I am super excited to get into this topic. We have comments saying that IG was freezing. I'm so sorry.
It's back though. It's been kind of smooth. It's been pretty smooth over the last since earlier. It hadn't stopped.
Is there body that would be affected? Yes, it was very. Oh, okay. So what that whole situation was near Myrtle Beach. So, don't go to J&J cafeteria if you're visiting Myrtle Beach this summer. Also, chlorine. All right, lovies. Serena about to tell us about that struggle ponytail.
As you were saying that, I'm like typing it so that I can pin it.
Okay.
For everyone that's coming in.
That's why I send it to you so you can cut and paste, so you can copy and paste it. But whatever.
Well, I did remember the first time, but then of course Instagram wasn't allowing me to get on, so I had to refresh Instagram about 3 times before it worked. So we're here.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So the question is, do you have a struggle ponytail?
Do you?
We always say something to catch y'all's attention. But this conversation came up from a live that I did the other day on Highly Texture's page, and I had a few experiences in the salon where I had guests who had super curly hair, but they realized that their hair in the front was like a completely different texture. It was super stretched out and it was looking more wavy or a looser curl compared to the rest of their hair. So as we were going through the consultation, I was asking, the guest, like, do you wear your hair up in a ponytail a lot? And she told me yes. And I had to explain to her that was part of the reason why she was seeing a lot of these looser pieces in her hair. So we were in such a good vibe that Tay and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this week. Okay. So first I'll say let's talk about like what's happening in the ponytail as far as what's causing the stretching of the curl. All right. So we're going to talk about tension for a little bit. Okay. So when people usually hear tension, I feel like we kind of think like tension, like a tension headache or something like that, or like tension in the body. What do you think, Tay? Do you think that's what people's heads mostly go?
Yeah, I mean, tension is like
right, but I don't think we ever think about tension in the hair. Like you can literally have some of the same symptoms as far as like mechanical damage in your hair. You know how a lot of naturals are like afraid of heat and they feel like they can't put heat on their hair because it stretches out their curl pattern. So you'll see like certain guests that come into the salon and they swear, they're like, I don't use heat on my hair at all, but I have these looser curls that's happening in the front. Like, what's happening with my hair? So there's two main ways that you can pretty much stretch out your curl pattern, either through chemical and mechanical damage. Mechanical meaning like the way you're combing it, using heat tools, things like that. Chemical, of course, is going to be your relaxers. It's going to be color. It's going to be perms. But you can also get those symptoms from having too much tension on the hair. Um, so when I say that, ponytails, I'm gonna take my hat off for a second, so we can do a little quick demo. But before we get into that, the main takeaway that I want everybody to remember is that textured hair is super fragile. Everybody say it with me.
Textured hair is
very
super
fragile. Yes.
Okay.
I need y'all to meditate on that, okay? Because I think we pretty much grew up thinking that because it's so big and it takes up so much space that we have to use like excessive force to tame it. Like, I know y'all pretty much drop a yes in the comment section if your mom has scarred you growing up by the way that your hair was combed. Like, literally yanking and the comb getting stuck and the brush getting stuck and just a lot of this pulling and whatnot. Tavia, you look like you want to say yes, but you don't want to throw your mama out there like that. But I feel like in our community, like, that is something that we have struggled with. Like, I remember even myself combing my hair young. Like, I saw other people comb their hair like that, so I did the same. And I would literally be taking my brush and just going to town when you don't even need all that. And
So
you think it's, go ahead.
I'm not supposed to brush my hair, and I'm not
that.
supposed to wear it in ponytails.
I ain't say that. You see that now? Don't start taking what I'm saying and flipping it now, okay? When that ain't what we say.
Tell me what to do. I get it now, okay?
So
I can't wear a ponytail because when I put gel in my hair, it's making my hair flat, which is what I was trying to get, but now it won't unflat.
So here's the thing. I'm not telling you to not wear ponytails. I'm telling you to be conscious of how you are styling your hair or how a stylist may be styling your hair, okay? Because any tension on the hair can cause damage. It can cause breakage. It can cause splitting. It can cause popping. That's just in general, no matter what.
So it's not supposed to pop.
No, it's not supposed to pop. I'm done with you. The healthiest way for you to wear your hair is actually down and flowing with gravity. Down, up. My hair grows up, so of course it would be up with gravity, but just out. This is the safest way for you to wear your hair. Once you start doing all this smoothing and whatnot, you can do it, but doing it on a consistent basis, you might run into some issues. Like, I have a lot of chefs that come in and they have to wear their hair up for their profession. But the problem is the way that they put their hair up. The way that they put their hair up, the way that they're wrapping their hair around the hair tie, the type of hair tie that they're using, those type of things play a role in how your hair is going to be behaving after that. So one of the demonstrations that I did the other day was I kind of like just took the top of my hair and I put it in a ponytail just to show you guys how your curls can be affected by these super tight ponytails. So right now you guys see I've had my hair out and you can see definition. It's out. There's volume. Like, what's so funny, Tay? Tell me.
I'll put it on the screen.
Snap, crumple, and prop is dry. Okay? Period.
Milk.
But I'm just going to take the very top of my hair and do this demonstration, okay? So, you take your hair, you slick it back. Because when we do ponytails, we want slick ponytails, right? We want to be able to lay our baby hairs and all of that. We want the thing flat. So, we take our hair, and then to make sure that it's a nice flat ponytail, we make sure we wrap it, and we wrap it tight. We go 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. 5. Remember, as you're wrapping, this is getting tighter and tighter. So now you didn't put it on the last one. You got your
Take
little
your
puff,
Tylenol
right?
now, sis.
Okay. And already I kind of got like a little facelift going on, you know? So if it's strong enough to lift my face, imagine what it's doing to your hair.
That's why black don't crack for real.
It's because of the ponytails. Then most of the times we take it, we
That's
twist
the
it
answer, y'all.
around,
Y'all been asking what kind of creams?
we
Ponytails.
twist it, and look, then we take the ends and we keep wrapping it and wrapping it and wrapping it. Okay, it's cute for the moment, you know, it's there. It's cute, we wear it. Now, mind you, it's been what, less than 30 seconds since I did this? Now let's take a look at my hair. The definition is stretched out. You can kind of see those ends that I was pulling on, those kind of stretched out. Now let's see what's going on at the base.
At the base.
Oh,
She from
and
New
then
Orleans.
shut up. Then another thing that I see, and I'm gonna try not to do it for real because I don't want to break my hair. Even just now that I did this, there's hairs that's wrapped around the base of my hair and it's catching already.
The
I
base.
don't I don't like this. Hold on, y'all. But I'm glad that this is happening because this is a real life a real life um experience where you guys can see what's going on. And I know that you guys have had times where you're taking out that hair tie and you feel like there's hairs pulling. Or some
Or you
people
know
that
for sure.
you do you do your loose buns and then you just start pulling it out like this. I see it all the time. All the time when guests come in and take their hair ponytail, they literally just start pulling, and then there's a bunch of hair that's left. Look, there go a piece, hair that's left on the hair tie. So now, when we look at my base, all of this is stretched out. There's no definition there anymore. I still have some definition on my ends, but this side is completely stretched. All of this. Now I just had curls, and I only had that hair tie in for what, maybe a minute, if that. So imagine what's happening when you're doing this on a consistent basis. You go into the salon, you get your slick back, long, little, cute little ponytail. You're using gel, and then on top of that, gel's what? It's for hold, right? So you stretch it out, then you have gel on top of it, and it's literally sitting in this hairstyle for about a week at least or more. And if I had this type of stretch within 30 seconds, imagine what type of stretch you're going to have on your hair within a week and a half. These are the little things you got to start paying attention to when you're wondering why certain areas in your hair is not curling like everything else. Well, what am I doing up there? Savia, you look like you have something to say.
No, I mean, like, I'm making these faces not for y'all because I've been just guilty of all of this. Every single thing. I have not had one thing where, like, oh, at least I don't do that. No, I do all
I
the
mean,
things.
I think we all are. It's a learning experience. And even for myself, I had to figure this out because I literally had, at one point before I realized this, I had 4 guests coming in with the same issue. All of their curls was popping. And you know me, I'm big on hair care. I care more about the integrity of your curls than anything. It's like they come in, I do all these treatments, I get their curls looking perfect, and for some reason they come back next month and all the curls up here are like stretched out. So I'm like, I know you haven't had heat. I know that we've been taking care of it. So what is the reason why your curls in the front are doing this? But then they all have one thing in common. All of them slick their hair back in these tight ponytails. They either slick them in ponytails or slick them straight back for the girls who have shorter hair to get like the wet look. And I'm like, this is the problem right here. And then I tried it on myself and realized this is the issue. What were you gonna say?
Well, I don't do like tight ponytails, but what I do, and I noticed, I figured this what it was. I haven't done it in a long time. Well, no, I actually did it like last week, but I hadn't done it in a long time before that. But I twist like right here, like when I'm trying to look more professional, I'll do like a little twist here, then I'll do like a ponytail like that. And I don't even tie the ponytail. I just put it on there. But it is like, I mean, you can't help from your hair is gonna stretch from ponytail holder. Like it goes like this. But I twist here, and this is like, and this twist will stay in like I'll change it like every couple days, like redo it. When I was like trying to look more professional. And like, yeah, this is look, I mean, you can't see it now, but like this is straight. Like this always looks blow dried and the rest of it looks like my regular curl pattern. And and it's always a lot longer because I don't know why. But Yeah, I'm guilty.
Listen, I'm not saying you
I
guys
don't know what the
can't do these
solution is though. I think
hairstyles.
we need a solution for us here.
Well, the
Like, don't.
solution, I think the solution would be moderation is key. If you decide you want to do maybe a ponytail or two once a month, that's fine. But be mindful of what you're doing. Be mindful of certain products that you're using. Everybody wants to slick their hair back and then spray it on what got to be glue spray. Well, it's called got to be glue for a reason. It's so strong. It's like your hair is literally stuck into one place. And I've
So we
had some
shouldn't use
guests.
that or no?
No, you can, because I use it in the salon, but I feel like it's about how much you use. I've seen certain stylists use just that product alone for smoothing. And they put layers on top of layers on top of layers. Now, don't get me wrong, as far as slick ponytail, you do need some layering. But for me, what I like to do is I use the wax stick. I use the wax stick to do more of most of my smoothing. I'll use my Got to Be glue spray to lock it in if I need it. I actually have lately been using Matrix has a hairspray called Style Fixer that I really, really like, that gives hold as well. So I have been switching back and forth to the two. That one's not going to give you the longevity that Got to Be glue spray is going to give you, but I don't mind because I see a lot when girls come in from having these slick ponytails. It's literally to the point where I have to wash their hairs for such a longer period of time when we're at the shampoo bowl because there's so much hairspray in their hair.
Well, you know what? You know what they should use if you're trying to get all of that gunk out your hair. Highly Texture
What?
has this clarifying shampoo that I am sure would
Period.
do really, really well to get all of that.
Period.
If you like, girl, I like my guys to be glue. I like my guys to be glue.
I
Um,
love it.
so then you should
Yes.
just get you some of that. Yeah.
And
So
you can
I mean,
go visit highlytextured.com.
at highlytextured.com. Yes, do that. But what I'm saying is I understand you're like, I don't know, because okay, let me say this. I feel like there's tension in every single hairstyle unless I wear my hair like this. But then they told me I'm not supposed to wear my hair like this all the time because it's not gonna grow because my ends are gonna break off because I need to do protective styling. So then I need
Who
to do
told you that?
the internet told me I need to do more protective styling. And so I was like, okay, so that means you gotta tuck if you wear a bun, a ponytail, maybe you should tuck your ends in and wear a bun, or you should do some braids, or I should pay somebody to buy me some lace and glue the lace to my forehead. And I'm like, well, I don't have enough. I personally cannot wear a lace wig, in my opinion, until they, make them better. Because well, you probably could, but I don't have enough forehead here, and so it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna look crazy. But what I'm saying, I'm open to someone who thinks I won't look crazy and would like to try that out on me. But what I'm saying is, I don't know what my options are anymore because I'm getting a bunch of cans.
Well, I'm not saying you cannot. Okay, I'm going to reiterate that again. You can wear ponytails.
I need
Just
a
be
percentage.
mindful of how. Just be mindful of how often that you're wearing them. I'm talking about for people. Most of these girls are wearing their hairs in ponytails every day that I'm speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
Because for work they have to, which means 5 days out of the week their hair is in a ponytail. I
So
don't
what do
think
you
that
suggest for them?
you can still have it in a ponytail, but just be mindful of how you're wearing it in a ponytail. Maybe not
Mm.
make it so tight. Maybe change the hair type of hair tie that you're using. The other day I was speaking to the Nadies hair ties. You guys can look this up on Amazon. Nadies are more, you see how this is like a circular shape, and it feels like there's like a rubber band type of like a situation going on the inside. Nadies are actually fabric. They're literally a piece of fabric that has a knot on the bottom, and they stretch. They're like a stretchy fabric that's it's stretchier than my shirt. So you can wrap your hair multiple times and do a tighter ponytail, but because of the material, it's never going to be as tight as this. It's never going to be as tight as a rubber band. So, and
Mm.
they also don't leave marks in your hair. No matter how much you tie it, it doesn't leave a mark in your hair. So a
Mm.
lot of girls wear these instead of these. And personally, I didn't know about Naughties until I talked to some of my Caucasian
Yes.
colleagues, yeah, and my Caucasian guests, they're the ones who told me about it because that's what they use on their hair. You don't see hair stuck on the hair tie anymore from using those hair ties. So those are options. Or just when you're putting it up in the messy
Well,
bun,
thank
making
you
sure
for
you're not.
sharing.
You're welcome. When you're putting it up in the messy bun, make sure you're not taking the ends and stretching them and wrapping them around multiple times. The ends are the most fragile hair that's on your head, so you got to be a little bit more delicate with it. So that's what I'm saying. And whoever told you that wearing your hair down is like not okay, that's not necessarily true. That is
That's
actually the
why I
healthiest
don't
way
do
to wear
it.
your hair.
That's why I don't do it.
Yeah,
Because they were
protect.
like,
Here's the thing: protective styles. Why do we call them protective styles? What do you think? Like,
they protecting your ends, right?
so here's the biggest thing with this whole conversation around protective styles that I want you guys to understand. It's not protective if it's causing more damage. Because I think we have this thing in our mind where we're like, oh, protective styles, braids, wigs, and twists, and all of these things, right? They can be, but when they're not done properly, they actually cause more damage than protection. Most of the times, these braids are done way too tight. Let's
No
have a
edges left.
conversation about that. And when
Mm.
you look at what's happening, there's certain
Arts.
issues that women of color have in our communities that you don't see when you look at other races. You don't see them in the Caucasian community. You don't see them, and you see them, but not as much. And if they have them, it's more so something that was like hereditary or something that they had from birth. A lot of us had a head full of hair when we were born and when we were young and growing up, but somehow between our adolescent years and growing, getting older into our 20s and our 30s, hair's missing. There's hair missing from our edges. There's hair missing, baldness going on in the inside. You're only 20 and 30 years old. Even in your 40s, that's still young for you to be having these type of issues. So we got to start thinking like, what are we doing that everybody else is not doing? Well, we're
Well,
constantly braiding our hair. And I think growing up, we have always been taught that beauty is pain. And somebody second me on this one. If you've been taught that beauty is pain, I know me and my cousins and my sisters, we were taught that. So we've been taught that it's supposed to hurt when we get our hair done, when you get your braids done, when you get sew-ins and stuff like that. It's supposed to hurt, and it'll wear off in 2 or 3 days. It'll wear off in
I
about
don't
a week.
subscribe to that anymore. But yes, I think I
It,
was
and
told that a few
that's
times.
and it's really sad and kind of unfortunate that we've been taught this, but we've been taught this because we didn't know. So if you don't take anything from our conversation today, I want you to take this away. Beauty is not supposed to be painful. If your braids are
That's
too
why I
tight, you
get
need to
those
take them
knotless
out.
braids. Okay, that's why I
I
get
love
those
knotless.
knotless.
I love knotless. I feel like
Don't hurt.
knotless braids has been like a blessing to Black girls because you are seeing like people have hair and people have edges. People actually want to leave their edges out so they can listen. I'm so thankful for baby hairs. And even though sometimes I feel like baby hairs can get a little, dramatic, and that's cool, I'm good. But it's the fact that you want to have them, and so you leave them out of certain styles so that you can style them. Well, you wanting to style your baby hairs is actually keeping hair on the perimeter of your head. We have seen a really big struggle in our community when it comes to edges in the past years.
Amen. The edge epidemic is a problem. And so I would like to now endorse a random Instagram that Serina sent me.
Oh my
You can
God.
now buy edges. You can
Tattooed
now
edges.
buy edges on the internet. Okay. If you would like some edges, they are now for sale. I don't have any. And I can't tell you exactly where to get them, but you can get edges tattooed on you. And yes,
I couldn't believe that.
it's a semi-permanent tattoo, and you just put your hair back and you just put that edge, just put those edges, and they are laid to the gods. Okay, they got the swips and the curl, and they look really delicate. And then you can go on and I mean, you probably can tell if you get real close, but okay,
Just
if I
don't
do my
sweat.
edges too much, they do start to break off. I have baby hairs, but I'm talking about the actual edges of my hair, like they start to break off. So I'm saying when I order mine, I will order
I
you a
can't.
set too, because I know I'm gonna see you this summer in our
I can't.
non-chlorinated pool.
I cannot. I cannot. Well, just remember, guys, the perimeter of your hair is the most fragile hair that's on your head. And then on top of that, you have textured hair, so that's super fragile as well too. So beauty is not pain. I want us to remember that. If your braids are tight to the point where you can't sleep at night, you need to take them out. You need to take them out. I get it. We grew up with our mom's telling us, "Oh, I paid $50 for this hairstyle. I paid $100 for this hairstyle. You gonna wear it?" Let's start like reprogramming our minds with that. I'd rather waste $100 than to have years of the rest of my life without edges and without
Amen.
hair.
Amen. And that's I think that's a fact of the show here. And I just have one last question for you, Serina.
Hmm.
What is that stretchy white piece of paper for that y'all be putting around people's necks and heads? Remember
Those
that?
are neck
Do y'all
wraps.
still use that?
Yes,
What
we
is that
do.
for? What is that
Well,
stretchy
they're
paper for?
originally okay. So neck wraps was originally created for barbers. Stylists, when they style someone's hair, they usually put a towel around the neck because we're going to wash and shampoo and things like that. But for barbers weren't always washing hair when their guests came in, so they would put neck wrap. The paper wrap is supposed to protect the guests. So the cape touches almost every guest. So when you have
Oh, it's a
the
sanitary
material,
thing?
it's a sanitary thing, yeah. So
Oh.
that's one of the reasons. But if you are someone who does like pixie cuts and things like that, a lot of people use them for molding. After you braid hair, if you want to mold your style down afterwards, you put mousse on and then you tie it down with the paper wrap.
Well,
And
okay.
what this does is it allows you to smooth out the hairstyle, but allowing heat to get through so that it can dry properly. Because if you smooth down with a scarf, the material of a scarf is going to be thicker, so it's not going to have as much air as much air is not going to be able to penetrate that fabric as much as it would paper. So the paper is thin enough for you to go under the dryer and the heat to still penetrate through to dry the style, but it's still strong enough to actually like lay down the edges or whatever style you're trying to mold.
Well, maybe we all need to get some papers to put on our foreheads because um apparently this there's a struggle in the edges community. I mean the Black community.
No,
Okay, the
sis,
show's
not the
over.
edges community. I
The
cannot.
show's over. I've lost
But
it. Um,
yeah, guys, but just make sure you're not overly stressing the hair. Like when the
mhm.
hair goes into stress mode, like there's a whole like a lot of people wonder why, like, oh, I got a weave or something. My hair just never it just started to grow so slow, or it never really grew after that. But I took some notes earlier on something I wanted to share with you guys. But stress, that tension that we're talking about, it causes stress to the hair follicles. Your follicles are where your hair grows. When they're alive in the scalp, remember what we see is considered dead. The hair is actually alive when it's in the follicle, when it's in your scalp. So the stress pushes your hair follicles into a resting phase, which means it's not going to produce more hair strands when it's in the resting phase. There's like three different phases that hair goes through when it grows. There's I can't remember the other two, but the resting phase is one of them, but it's not supposed to stay there for a long time. So when you
it sounds like the winter.
no, seriously, it does. That's a great analogy. I never even thought about that. But yeah, it
It's really giving
literally
me plant
will,
vibes.
yeah, it will be stuck in the resting phase and it won't produce any more hair follicles. And over time, the hair will start falling out for no reason. You can touch it and it'll fall out because it's so weak. You'll brush it and it'll fall out because it's so weak. You'll comb it and it'll fall out. Washing your hair, you'll see a bunch of shedding because in the resting phase, it's not producing anymore. So all you have left is what you already have. So guys, just lay off the stress, let that hair grow the way that it's supposed to grow. And every now and then you can manipulate it, get a couple ponytails. I'm gonna say it again, I'm not saying don't wear ponytails. Just be mindful of how often you're doing them and how you are manipulating the hair into that style.
Well, thank you, Serena. That's something that we all need to hear, specifically me. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I want to allow you guys, give you all the space. If you're watching the replay, if you're still here right now, thank you for watching to the end. And reach out to Serena with some topics because we're going to do this segment every month. Hair. Hair is a highly textured takeover every month, first Monday. So yeah, be careful, y'all, in these streets. If you want to turn up, Florida, New York City, July 1st. Apparently, Florida does not care. You can go right now. Also, don't forget about the comments and there's gonna be a meteor shower. Was it May 4th? You can look at May 5th before dawn is the best time you can see it. So look up.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys. See ya.
Oh, wait.
What?
Can we pre-order? Can we still buy our Mother's Day boxes or no?
Oh, yes, you can. Mother's Day gift sets are still available. If you go on the website, we have like 6 different options. We have a body care kit, we have body and hair, we got all that good stuff, and we got some bomb candles, y'all.
What's the last day to get shipping by Mother's Day?
If I'm
Say
not
your mother's in
mistaken,
like California.
it has to be Tuesday. Like
tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow.
All right,
is
so
the last
get to
time
order
for you
those.
for you to get
Don't
them
have your
by
mama
Mother's
out
Day.
here all
Yeah, because
unfertilized.
last year, a lot of y'all ain't ordered until like the day or two before Mother's Day. So I don't even know if them was really going to y'all's mamas or if they was just going to y'all. Because I'm pretty sure last year ain't nobody get it by Mother's Day, okay? And I low-key feel like this order that just came, these orders that just came through ain't for nobody mama either. I think they for themselves. But that's y'all's business.
You've been talking up that candle. So yeah, celebrate highly textured, celebrate Mother's Day with a mom or a person who is like a mom figure. I think Mother's Day will be the next week. This Sunday is Mother's Day. So on Monday we'll be back and we'll be happy to tell y'all happy Mother's Day then, but happy Mother's Day now. And shop highly textured if you're looking for that. If you want to fertilize your hair and get your follicles out the resting stage, okay?
I love it. See y'all
Bye,
later.
guys.